paper 2 yet? Is it hard?
No, I never see. But who cares? Okay, let's start. So, right pyramid has square base this height this. So always write down your formula volume of pyramid. Since it's a pointed figure, then the formula will be 1/3. So like cone, you have another 1/3 also. Okay, so volume of pyramid in this case given 60 plus 43 square root 2 equals to 1/3 times base area. So because the base is a square, so this square times height. Okay, so a good habit is to times 3 throughout. So times 3 times 3. Then this part, go and expand this. This is just 1 plus 4 square root 2 plus 8 times h. So to find h, we have to divide that thing over. So divide this, we have 9 plus 4 square root 2. Okay, then what do we do to find h? We have to rationalize. So to rationalize, we multiply by 9 minus 4 square root 2 over 9 minus 4 square root 2. Okay, and expand 9 times 180 is 1620 plus 9 times 129 is 108 1161 minus 4 times that 720 square root 2 minus 48516 times 2 1032. Okay, and the denominator when you multiply you will just have a square minus b squared. Okay, add the numbers up together. 1620 minus 1032, 588. 1161 minus 720, 441. Denominator, what do we have? 81 minus 32, 49. Okay, and please take note what did the question say. Question say h can be expressed as this. A and b are integers. So now what we need to do, we need to take 588 divided by 49. So if you divide and you realize that your answer is not a fraction, not an integer, that means your working is wrong already. Okay, so that is the answer. Do you need to write down what is x, do you need to write down what is a, what is b? Don't need, because the question just asks you to express in this form. Okay, next, the function this. So what we need to know is remainder theorem. So what is remainder theorem? Remainder theorem says what? Remainder theorem says if fx is divided by x minus a, the remainder is fa. Okay, so from the first part, when we say fx is exactly divisible by this, we will f minus 3.
Sorry.
Okay, so when we calculate this thing is our remainder. So the question says that it's exactly divisible. Exactly divisible means that the remainder is actually equals to 0. So this thing equals 0 lah. Then what do? We rearrange nicely. So minus 3a plus b equals to 27. That's our first equation. Normally in polynomial, when we solve for a and b, our answer is nice. Your answer got fraction and all this. Do check again. So next, when divided by x minus 5. So what we do? We will do f5. So f5 is 5 cubed plus a bracket 5 plus b. So this is 125 plus 5a plus b. Okay, the question mentioned that if give a remainder of 112, so we know that this thing is equals to 112. Rearrange it, equals to negative 13. That's my second equation. Okay, so how do we solve our equation? So since we recognize that actually these two is the same, so we can just use elimination. So I take 2 minus 1. So we have 5a plus b minus negative 3a plus b equals to negative 13 minus 27. Okay, open up 5a plus b plus 3a minus b equals to minus 40. So we have 8a equals to minus 40, a equals to minus 5. Okay, then we sub it into equation 2 lah. So 5 bracket negative 5 plus b equals negative 13. B is equals to minus 13 plus 25. B equals to 12. Okay, so after we find this, we put it back into the equation and solve the next part. Okay, so fx is actually equals to x cubed minus 5x plus 12. Okay, so now what the question wants you to solve. So when fx equals to 0, we have this. Okay, so to solve this, we know we have to factorize. So based on the previous part, we know that one of the factor is actually x plus 3 because it is exactly divisible. So one of the factor is x plus 3. We need to find another factor, which is a quadratic factor. So how to find this quadratic factor? The more common way is to use long division. So x squared, x cubed plus 3x squared. We will have minus 3x squared, bring down the minus 5x plus 12. Okay, then over here we will have this minus this become 4x plus 12. Remember the remainder must be 0. If the remainder is not 0, means your factorization is wrong. Okay, so this will give us this. Okay, now when we have something times something equals to 0, this equals 0 or this equals to 0. So x equals to minus 3. Over here, we just check the b square minus 4ac, which is equals to negative 3 square. And we will get negative 7. Then we explain, since b square minus 4ac is less than 0, there is no solution for x. Therefore, the only solution is x equals to minus 3. Okay, if you don't know or not confident in using b square minus 4ac, you can use your quadratic formula and show that there's no answer. Okay, but definitely this is more elegant. Okay, next, express this in this form. So this is your pretty standard completing the square. So put your x square in front first. What we do next, we must always make x square 1x squared. So what we need to do, we need to factorize out the negative 2. When you factorize out negative 2, be careful, this become minus 5x, this become plus 11 over 2. Okay, then now what do? We complete this. This become x minus, we divide the x by 2, so become 5 over 2 square minus 5 over 2 square plus 11 over 2. Okay, this will give us x minus 5 over 2 square. Press calculator, minus 25 over 4 minus 3 over 4. Okay, then remember to distribute this back in. Okay, so that is the form. Okay, the next part explain why it does not have solution for some values of k. So to find that, so you must always remember that the previous part is completing the square. The question say hence. So the advantage of completing the square is to find maximum and minimum point. Okay, so from the completed square form, we will know that the maximum point is, since the maximum point is 5 over 2, comma 3 over 2. Okay, so this is the maximum point. So this is actually the line y equals to k. So this is a set phase graph. Your maximum point is here, 5/2, comma 3/2. So if you were to draw any horizontal line that is above the maximum point, you will not get any intersection. So you need to write this down. So since maximum point is this, any line, so the line y equals to k will not intersect the curve when k is more than 3/2. Therefore, there is no solution for some value of k. Okay, so use maximum point to explain this. Okay, instead of solving it, because they say hence so you have to use maximum point, because that's what is the advantage of your completed square form. Okay, next state the value of the principal value. So the principal value of cosine inverse is just between 180 to 0 degree. Okay, over here we emphasize also, like you want to write in pi radian also can. So further elaborate, your sine inverse is between -90 to 90, and your tangent is also between -90 to 90. Okay, so the last two, the question never asked, I just elaborate. Okay, next part, find the principal value of this. So you just key into your calculator. This is actually just equals to 3 pi/4. Okay, you can key in degree, then change to radian also can. Okay, next part. The diagram shows the curve this. The curve has a maximum point of this and minimum point of this. Explain why this is -3. So first, A is related to amplitude. So we find amplitude. Amplitude is equals to maximum minus minimum divided by 2. So the maximum is 7 minus 1/2, we get 3. Okay, however, A is -3. So how do you explain the negative? You say, since it is a inverted cosine graph, comma, A is equals to -3. If it's not a cos inverted one, then your A is straight away 3 already. Okay, next find the value of B. So what does this B represents? This B represents how many cycle do you have in 2 pi. It's always 2 pi. So over here, we know we have B cycles in 2 pi. So one cycle will be completed in 2 pi over B. So from the diagram now, we need to see where is our one cycle. So our one cycle is from here until here. Oh no. Okay, so this is our one cycle. And you can see this is actually the next cycle. Okay, so one cycle is actually completed in 4 pi. So now we know 2 pi over B is actually equals to 4 pi. Then 2 pi equals to 4 pi B. B is just equals to 2 pi over 4 pi, which is equals to half. Okay, finally write down the equation. So we already have the starting. The starting is -3 cosine half x. Okay, when we write until this stage, we will know that the maximum is actually 3, the minimum is actually -3. Then we take a look. Oh, the maximum now is actually 7 and 1. So how do we go from 3 to 7? How do we go from -3 to 1? Okay, that will be therefore a +4. So that is the equation of, better write the y. So this is the equation of the curve. Okay, you will determine the C through the maximum and minimum point. Next, prove the identity. Okay, so first thing you need to see is this is x, this is 2x, this is 2x. We will definitely have to change it to x. So sine 2x is quite straightforward. There's no other for identity to use except this. Now the tricky part is cosine 2x. Which one should we use? Okay, because I observe here that there's a negative, there's a tangent here and there's a tangent here. So what I want is I want the tangent to appear. So from here, I see this is negative. So inside, if there's a negative one, that would be the best. And I realized that, oh, actually, I can have 2 cosine square x minus 1. So when you expand this part, it's actually 2 tangent x cosine square x plus tangent x. So you can see the tangent x is already here. So what we need to settle is to settle the first term and the middle term. From here, we know that tangent is actually sine over cosine. And we know that the cosine square and the cosine can cancel. And what we get here is just 2 sine x cos x. And then now what we can do, we can cancel away these two and just get tangent x. Okay, hence show this. So this is one of the more difficult question inside the paper. So to use the previous part, we have to know that this is actually equals to this. So the x is tangent 67.5. So tangent 67.5 is actually equals to sine 2 times 167.5 is 135 minus tangent 67.5 cosine 135. So what we need to do now is actually see this like an equation. We have to shift things here, shift things there. So sine 135 is your special angle. So the basic angle is sine 45. So sine 135 is actually equal to sine 45 because they share the same basic angle 45 degree, which in fact is actually 1 over square root 2. Next, cosine 135, it shares the same basic angle as 45. However, 135 is in the second quadrant, it should be negative. So we get negative 1 over square root 2. So now you see that there's two, there's a negative here. So now we got see that both sides have tangent 67.5. So we have to bring them to the same side. So we bring this here. So this become minus 1 over square root 2 tangent 67.5. So what we can do, we can factorize tangent 67.5. We have 1 minus 1 over square root 2. So to find tangent 67.5, we divide by.
So is it like possible if I use the addition formula or something like 7
No,
3 cannot ah?
hence,
Oh, why cannot?
hence.
Oh, no wonder.
Okay, so this one will become square root 2 minus 1 over square root 2. Flip it around. You have fraction in a fraction, please go and add them together first. Cancel, cancel. We have 1 over square root 2 minus 1. Okay, we have to compare. Don't just rationalize blindly. Go and compare, see what the question wants. So you can see that here is 1, but the numerator is square root 2. So to make it happen, we have to multiply by square root 2 over square root 2. So this will become square root 2. This will become 2 minus square root 2. Okay, so in the paper, this is one of the more difficult questions. Oh, so you need know your special angle to know cosine 135 is negative. Second thing, you need to learn how to bring the tangent 65 over to the other side. Okay, these are skills that you don't, especially the bringing the tangent to the other side. It's not a skill that you always apply. Okay, let's move on.
Wait, wait, one more. Almost done ah. Uh, Okay, can. Thank you.
Okay, next. The volume of the object is directly proportional. So directly proportional to the cube of its length. So over this statement, we know we have to write V equals to Kp cube. So we always find the K when V is 108, P is equals to 3. So 108 equals to K times 3 cube. So 108 is actually equals to 27K. K will just be 4. Then please rewrite your equation. V equals to 4P cube. Okay, so next part, the length of the object increasing from an initial length at a constant rate of this. Find the rate of V is increasing. So the question here wants us to find dV dt. So we start our chain rule. dV over dt equals to dV over what times what over dt. So clearly, they tell you that this is increasing at a constant rate of this. So this is actually our dp over dt. So we know to choose dp. So we know that v is actually 4p cubed. So dv dp is actually equal to 12p squared. So now we put everything in 12p squared times 0.004. This will give us 0.048p squared. So now we need to find out, oh, what p squared to use. So they want it when the cube has been heated for 20 seconds. So what we know is we need to find the p at 20 seconds. So we know that the length increases 0.004 cm in 1 second. So in 20 seconds, it will increase by 0.08. Okay, so it will increase by 0.08 from where? From 9.9 cm. So this will give us 9.98. So they want the rate of increase of it when P is 9.98. So most of you actually just put 9.9 into the P. So 9.98 squared. That will give us 0.048 times 9.98 squared. 4.7808. Round off to 3 significant. 4.78 cm cube per second. Okay, round it off to 3 sig fig because it's not an exact value. Okay, next, solve the equation. Whenever you have exponential function and then you have plus and minus, you must think of substitution. Okay, but before that, if you're stuck, always break the power up. Okay, when this is minus, we will seldom involve logarithm. So over here, you can see this is this, and we can actually change the negative power to positive power. So as you can see over here, now we do a substitution, that to the power y become x. So we have x over 2 equals to 4 minus 8 over x. Now this becomes something that you are familiar with. We multiply 2x throughout. So this will be x squared. This will be 8x. This will be minus 16. And now we get a quadratic equation. So just bring everything to one side. Factorize. So x equals to 4. However, we are not finding x, we are finding y. So do replace it back to y. So 4 is just 2 square. Therefore, y is just equals to. Okay, next. The tangential part of the curve meets the normal meets. Find the equation of normal AC. So to find the equation of line, we need to know the gradient. We need to know a point. Okay, so the point is, of course, at A lah. So at point A, right? This is point A. So we need to find the coordinate of point A. So to find the coordinate of point A is so special, it is on the x-axis. So on the x-axis means that the y is 0. So bring the 4 over. square both sides. Okay, so the coordinate of A is 6, 0. Okay, so now we will need the gradient of the line. So we see that this is actually not a straight line. So the only way to find your gradient is through dy dx. So dy dx is equals to power bring down, power minus 1, differentiate inside. Okay, differentiate -4 is 0. Simplify this. This is just 1 over square root 2x plus 4. So this is the gradient of the tangent. I see what some of you do is quite crazy. Please do not go and do this kind of thing. Don't go and find your gradient of normal by writing this. Please, you can go and find a numerical answer for it. Please go and find lah. Okay, so the gradient of tangent at A is when x is equals to 6. So we just put 6 inside the dy dx. So it will be 12 plus 4. So it will be 1/4. So this is the gradient of tangent at A. So from here, we know that the gradient of normal at A. Now then we flip and add a negative. It's just -4. So now we have the -4. We have the point. We can find the equation of normal, which is just y equals mx plus c lah. The y is 0, the m is -4, the x is 6, so c is just equals to 24. So the equation will be y equals to -4x plus 24. Okay, next part. Find the area of the shaded region bounded by the curve, the normal, and the y-axis. So this is the region that we want. So from here, you can see it's actually just the triangle plus the curve. Okay, as far as possible, try to integrate to x-axis, do not integrate to y-axis. But in this question, you want is still possible. Okay, so to find A, we need to find the coordinate of C first. So we know the equation of normal is y equals to -4x plus 24. So when x is 0, y is just 24. So we know the coordinate of C is 0, 24. So we can find the area of triangle is just half time base times height, half time 6 times 24. That will give us 72 units squared. Okay, next to find this portion, we know that this is 6, this is 0. So we integrate from 0 to 6 and we expect the answer to be negative. Why do we expect the answer to be negative? Because the area of B is under the x-axis. So to find the area of B, what do? We integrate from 0 to 6. What's the equation? Square root 2x plus 4. Okay, so now how do we integrate this? This is actually power half, so power increased by 1, become 3 over 2, divided by the new power, divided by the differentiation of the inside. So what do we have? We have 1/3 2x plus 4 to the power of 3 over 2 minus 4x. So now we sub the value in, so sub 6 inside will be 1/3 6, 12, 16, 4, 64 minus 24 minus, when we put 0 inside, you get 288 over 3. Okay, so what do we have? Negative 24 times 3 minus 8 plus 64. We have negative 16 over 3. Okay, like what we will say, we will expect this to be negative because it's below the x-axis. So therefore, the total shaded area is 72 plus 16 over 3. Remember to change this to positive. So this is 216. So it will be 232 over 3 units squared. Okay. Can next. It's given that this is this, express this. So remember the first thing that we do log is always bring all the log one side and combine them together. So what I will do, I will bring this up first. So this will be log x square y bracket square. Next, bring all the log to one side. So I will minus log x plus log y equals to 3. Okay, next, this is just log x power 4 y square. Then what we do next is we will combine all the log together. So remember to do from left to right. So over here, what do we have? We have x4 y square divided by x times y. Okay, so some of you, the y you put at the denominator because you go and do these two things first, which is incorrect. So this is just log x cube over y cube. No, x cube y cube on top equals to 3. And use the most important log formula. Log AB equals to C, B equals to A power C. So x cube y cube equals to 10 power 3. X cube y cube equals to 1000. Now we cube root both sides. Xy is equals to 10. So y is just equals to 10 over x. Next, given further that this is this, find this. So what do I do is first use the most important log formula to get rid of log. So x minus y is just 3 power 1. So now I have this equation 1, I have this equation 2, I can solve. So sub 2 into 1. Why my answer different? Correct or not? Sorry, why I write these two numbers? 5 and 2. So x equals to 5 or x equals to minus 2. Okay, we need to check. So you can see that over here we do mention log x. So our x cannot be negative lah. So reject. So then if x is 5, then sub x equals to 5 into 1. Then we will have y equals to 10 over 5. Y equals to 2. Okay, you have a log equation. It never change. Always put all the log to one side, then put all the number to the other side. Okay, next part. Given that this is this, find the value. So what we need to do is we need to change everything to 235. So if you don't know how to change 150, you can do your prime factorization. 275, 25, 5. The end. Okay, so first thing first, what we can do is we can also change all the negative power to positive power. So this is 4 over 150 to the power of half. This is actually 4 to the power of 1/3. This is actually times 3 over 2. Okay, so this one bring in become 2 over, this is 2 times 3 times 5 squared to the power of half. This is actually 2 to the power of 2 over 3. So what we have 2 over 2 to the power of half times 3 to the power of half times 5. So let's settle the 2 first. So what do we have? The 2, we have 2 times 2 to the power of 2 third times 2 to the power over 2 to the power of half times 2. Then 3, we have 3 on top, 3.5 below. And for 5, we only have 1 over 5. So this will be 2 plus 2 thirds. So this will be 2 plus 2 thirds, which is 2 to the power of 8 over 3 minus, this is 3 over 2. Correct. This is 5 over 3. Okay, then this is just 3 to the power of half. This is just 5 to the power of -1. So over here, when take 5 over 3 minus, this is just 2 to the power of 1 over 6. So by comparing, we know that A is just equals to 1 over 6, B equals to half, and C equals to -1. Okay, next part, a curve has this. Y is decreasing only 40. Find the value of P and Q. So Y is decreasing. It means what? Decreasing means dy dx is less than 0. Okay, so this is actually the reverse lah. So imagine I give you this. How would you solve this? You'll do x minus 3, x plus 1. Then after that, you draw your number line. Then after that, you find this region. Then this is your answer. Okay, what we need to do now is to reverse the whole thing. So you know this is less than 0 and this is the answer. So with this, I will know that my factorized form will look at 3x plus 2, x minus 4 less than 0. Then what I do, expand. I will get this. Now what do I need to do? I need to make this look like this. And the only thing that I can compare is this 6x squared. So I times 2 throughout the equation to make my minus 6x squared appear. So you can see that actually your 6x squared plus px is actually this. So by comparison, straight away we can see that p is actually -20 and q is actually -16. Okay, it's just the reverse of the purple one. You have to start seeing this kind of things. Because it's 2 marks, you shouldn't be using too much time on this part of the question also. Okay, let's move on. Oh, this is a very easy question, a very standard and typical question. So I have a cylinder. So based on this statement, we know volume of cylinder is equals to pi r square h. So over here they say 350 equals to pi r square h. So we will make h the subject to get rid of h. So now we know that the total surface area of the closed container is the curved surface area plus the 2 bases. Okay, so just sub the h inside. This will give us 700 over r. Then just take a look at the question and follow what they want. They want to factorize a 2. So this will become pi r squared plus 700 plus 350 over r. Okay. Next part, they ask us to find the value r that give a stationary value of a. So a is actually 2 pi, bracket pi r square plus 700 over r. 350, sorry. So what we do, when we differentiate this, dA dr, the 2 just stay there. So differentiate the pi r square is 2 pi r. Differentiate this is actually what? This is actually 350 r to the power of -1. So you bring the power down first. Then the power r become power -2. So it become minus 350 over r square. So they say stationary value of a lah, means when dA dr equals to 0. Then we will have 2 pi r minus 350 over r square equals to 0. 2 pi r bring over to the other side. Cross multiply. Divide. Square root. Okay, you don't need to add plus minus because we know this is speed. So do press calculator, don't just stop there.
So I thought it's cube.
Cube ah.
Yeah, we type
Oh,
the R square.
yeah, cube. Thank you. So 350 divided by 2 pi. Cube root answer 3.8191, approximately 3.82. Do we need to find A? We don't need to find A. They never ask us to find A. They ask us to calculate the value of R. Okay, next part, find the nature. So in this case, it's not very difficult to differentiate again. So we can use second derivative test. If it's difficult to differentiate, please use first derivative test. Pi r. What? Okay, so we differentiate this again. This is power -2, so bring down. 350 stays there. Then this become r power -3. So what we have? Okay, so from here, normally what we do, we sub log. So when r equals to 3.8191, d2a over dr square equals to we will get 37.7, more than 0, since d2a over dr square is more than 0. A will be minimum. So need to explain why lah. So at this value of r, the least amount of material is needed. Hence, it minimizes the cost of production. Okay, you use less material, that means overall in commercial point of view, everything is about money and benefits. Okay. So you cannot just say A is minimum or R is small, whatever. Most importantly, you must be able to identify the material used is least so that it will reduce the cost. Okay, next question 11. Okay. Okay, question 11. So remember when you see a plane geometry question, the first property that you must think of is your alternate segment. Die will make use of this one because that is only the property that you learn. Okay, so BAE equals to 2ADE. So what I do, I let angle ADE, DAE be X. Okay, and some common things that you don't always see in the question is this part FC equals to BC. This is not something that is very common, so must make use one. Okay, so first from here, I will know that this angle also equals to X. Angle CBF equals to X. Reason, angles in same segment. I will know that this angle also X because of the isosceles triangle. Then next, I will know that this angle is actually 180 minus 2x. Reason, sum of angle in isosceles triangle. And then now I can find this angle. Angle BCG equals to 180 minus 180 minus 2x. That will give me 2x. Reason, angles on a straight line. So now what we can see is this angle is 2x. I can finally apply my alternate segment theorem. I will know based on this angle also 2x. Reason alternate segment. So 2x is actually 2 times of DAE shown. Okay, next part, show that DF is equals to DC. So to show DF is equals to DC, we need to show that this angle equal to this angle. So we need to show that this angle is also X. Okay, it is as simple as using this alternate segment. Okay, this angle is actually equal to this angle because of the alternate segment. So we can start by straight away saying that angle DCF is also equals to X, alternate segment. Since angle DCF equals to angle DFC, comma, triangle DCF is isosceles. Therefore, DF equals to DC. Can Okay, let's finish up the last two questions. The equation this x is more than 0, find an expression, the stationary point in exact form. So it proved that it could be difficult to differentiate this for some of you. So to differentiate ln, just keep differentiate on top. Now copy down the denominator. I'm using quotient rule. Keep the numerator, differentiate the denominator over the denominator squared. So this is just 2x minus 2x ln x squared over x power 4. Factorize 2x, and then the x and x can cancel. This becomes 3. So what we have is 2 over x cubed, 1 minus ln x squared. Stationary value means when dy dx equals to 0. Okay, then we will have 2 bracket 1 minus ln x squared equals to 0. divide by 2, ln x squared equals to 1. Then use the most important formula. This is actually e power 1. Now we square root, this become e power half. Okay, by right got plus minus. Therefore x equals to positive e power half, because the question mentioned that x is more than 0. Okay, now we need to test. Looking at the dy dx expression, you want to differentiate one more time also can. You want to use first derivative test also can. Okay, I think not too difficult to differentiate again, so just differentiate again. Maybe I use first derivative test, since just now I show you an example, a question on second derivative test already. So what we do, we take e power half, this will be e power half minus 0.1, this is e power half plus 0.1. We go and find the value of our dy dx. Okay, when you sub, what is good about first derivative test is today when you sub this value into the dy dx, right, your value should be very small. So if your value is not small, that means you calculated the wrong value already. So first derivative test is good in a way that, yeah, it indicates for you whether your thing is correct or not. Okay, so this is 0.0674. Okay, this part shows 0. And now e to the power 0.5 plus 0.1. So this is negative 0. You can see the gradient that I found are pretty small. Okay, so this is going up, this is horizontal, this is going down. So we say by first derivative test, the stationary point is a maximum point. Okay, so I emphasize again, when you calculate these two values will be small, because they are very close to 0. So their gradient will be pretty gentle. Okay, finally, let's move on to the last question. The diagram shows a kite AD equals to DC. AB equals this. Find the equation of BD. So to find the equation of BD, you need the gradient and a point. So we can find the gradient of BD easily. We get half. Okay, you can see that B is actually the y-intercept already. So you can straight away say, therefore, equation of BD is just y equals to half x minus 1. Next part, show the equation of AC is y plus this. So you need to know the property of the kite in a sense that this is 90 degree. Okay, with this 90 degree, we can use gradient of BD to find the gradient of AC. The gradient of AC is just flip the half, become 2 over 1, then add a negative. Gradient of AC is just negative 2. Now we need a point. The point is definitely point A. Okay, question also mentioned that y equals to x passes through A. When y equals to x passes through A, this tells me that actually that the y coordinate and x coordinate of A is actually the same. So since y equals to x passes through A, we will know that P is actually equals to Q. So equation of AC, we find C first. So y equals to mx plus c. So you can see that c is actually equals to 3p. Therefore, we have y equals to minus 2x plus 3p. Shift to what they want. We get okay. Next part is given now that p is 3. So right now our AC is y plus 2x equals to 9. Our BD is y equals half x. Okay, so take a look at the diagram. In order to find the coordinate of C, we must know that this is a kite and this length equals to this length. So before we can find anything, we must actually find the coordinate of M. And you can see that M is actually just the intersection of our BD and AC. So to find M, we just need to solve the simultaneous equation of BD and AC. So this is equation 1. This is equation 2. So we sub. So half x minus 1 plus 2x equals to 9. So 5 over 2x equals to 10. X is equals to 4. And our y will be equals to 1. Therefore, the coordinate of M is actually 4, comma 1. Okay, so now we know that M is actually the midpoint of AC. So we also know that A has a coordinate of 3, 3. And then we let C be xy. So we know that 4, 1 is actually equals to x plus 3 over 2, y plus 3 over 2. So solve it. X plus 3 equals to 8. X equals to 5. Okay, so then we got the coordinate of C. Therefore, C is 5, comma negative 1. Okay, explain why BC is parallel to the x-axis. You can simply say that since the y coordinate of B and C are the same, BC is parallel to the x-axis. Okay, if you want, you can also go and find the gradient and show that the gradient is actually 0. That will take a little bit more time. That's all. Okay, that's the end. This is not a difficult page.